Have you ever wondered what would happen if a 10-magnitude earthquake hit the Earth? A chilling thought, isn't it? To delve into this hypothetical scenario, we first need to understand earthquakes and the Richter scale. Earthquakes, as many of you know, are the trembling or shaking of the Earth's crust, caused by the sudden release of energy in the Earth's lithosphere. This energy propagates as seismic waves, which we feel as ground shaking. Now let's talk about the Richter scale. It's a logarithmic scale that quantifies the size or magnitude of an earthquake. Each whole number increase on the Richter scale represents a 10-fold increase in measured amplitude and roughly 31 times more energy release. So what does a 10-magnitude earthquake mean? It's beyond anything we've ever experienced. Imagine, if you will, the most powerful earthquake ever recorded, then multiply it by 31 times. That's what we're dealing with. But to grasp the enormity of a 10-magnitude earthquake, we first need to understand what an earthquake is. Earthquakes, in their simplest form, are the result of the Earth releasing energy. Picture the Earth's crust as a patchwork of large pieces, known as tectonic plates. These plates are in constant motion, albeit at a snail's pace, sliding past each other, colliding or pulling apart. This movement isn't always smooth sailing. Sometimes the plates get stuck due to friction, but the forces acting on them continue to build up. Imagine trying to push a heavy piece of furniture across a rough carpet. Initially, it resists your efforts. But as you continue to push, the pressure builds, until suddenly, the furniture jerks forward. That's essentially what happens during an earthquake. The energy that was building up is suddenly released, causing the ground to shake. Now you might be wondering how we measure the strength or magnitude of these earthquakes. That's where the Richter scale comes in. Developed in the early 20th century by Charles F. Richter, this scale gives us a logarithmic measure of the amount of energy released by an earthquake. Logarithmic? Yes, that means each whole number increase on the Richter scale corresponds to a 10-fold increase in measured amplitude and roughly 31.6 times more energy release. For instance, a 2-magnitude earthquake releases 31.6 times more energy than a 1-magnitude earthquake. And a 3-magnitude earthquake, that's 31.6 times more powerful than a 2-magnitude earthquake, and so on. Here's where things get truly mind-boggling. A 10-magnitude earthquake wouldn't just be twice as powerful as a 5-magnitude earthquake. No, it would be roughly 1 million times more powerful, due to the logarithmic nature of the Richter scale. So a 10-magnitude earthquake isn't just twice as powerful as a 5-magnitude one, it's exponentially more devastating. Now that we know what causes earthquakes and how we measure their power, let's delve into the aftermath of a 10-magnitude earthquake. Picture this. The ground beneath your feet begins to shake violently. Buildings sway and crumble, highways buckle, and the landscape morphs in a matter of seconds. This is the immediate effect of a 10-magnitude earthquake, an event so powerful it's beyond anything we've ever experienced. The shaking alone, more severe than any quake we've seen, would cause widespread destruction, toppling even the most robust structures. But the shaking is just the start. As the ground ripples and tears, landslides would become an inevitable peril. Imagine entire hillsides, once stable, now cascading down in a deadly flow of rock and soil. Cities nestled in mountainous regions would be at particular risk, potentially buried in a matter of moments. And let's not forget about the water. Earthquakes of this magnitude can trigger tsunamis, giant ocean waves caused by seismic activity. Picture towering walls of water barreling towards coastal cities with little warning. The devastation wrought by these waves could be immense, flooding vast regions and causing a level of destruction beyond comprehension. Yet these immediate effects, as catastrophic as they may be, are just the tip of the iceberg. A 10-magnitude earthquake would also have long-term consequences that could change our planet forever. Consider this. The Earth spins on its axis, creating the 24-hour day we all live by. But a quake of this magnitude could actually alter Earth's rotation. Scientists believe that the Great Chilean Earthquake of 1960, the most powerful quake ever recorded, shortened the length of a day by a few microseconds. A 10-magnitude earthquake could potentially have a much more significant impact. Also, the violent shifting of tectonic plates could distort the shape of our planet. Earth is not a perfect sphere but an oblate spheroid, bulging at the equator due to its rotation. A seismic event of this scale could exaggerate this oblateness, making Earth even more egg-shaped. Lastly, we must consider potential climate change. Massive amounts of energy would be released during this earthquake, enough to heat up the atmosphere and alter weather patterns. We could see temperature extremes, with hotter summers and colder winters, potentially disrupting ecosystems and affecting biodiversity. In essence, a 10-magnitude earthquake would be a global event, sending shockwaves both literally and metaphorically. The immediate effects would be catastrophic, causing widespread destruction and loss of life. But the long-term impacts, from shifts in Earth's rotation and shape to potential climate change, could permanently alter life as we know it. The effects of such an earthquake would be catastrophic and far-reaching, altering life as we know it. While a 10-magnitude earthquake is highly unlikely, it's essential to be prepared for the worst. Today, we'll examine some strategies for earthquake preparedness. These strategies range from the very basics such as creating a disaster plan, to more elaborate steps like securing your home and stocking up on emergency supplies. Firstly, let's talk about the importance of creating a disaster plan. This plan should include a safe place to take cover during the shaking, a predetermined meeting spot for after the earthquake, and an out-of-town contact to relay information. Remember, communication networks may be disrupted, so having an out-of-town contact could be crucial in getting messages to your loved ones. Now let's move on to how you can secure your home. Start with identifying potential hazards. Tall, heavy furniture that could topple over, unsecured shelves, and glass items are all potential risks. Secure heavy items and anchor tall furniture to the walls. Don't forget to secure water heaters and gas appliances to prevent gas leaks and potential fires. Next, consider retrofitting your home to make it more resistant to shaking. While this might be a substantial investment, it could ultimately save your home, and more importantly, your life. Professional help might be necessary for this, particularly for older homes. Lastly, let's touch on the importance of emergency supplies. Every household should have an emergency kit stocked with essentials such as bottled water, non-perishable food, a first aid kit, flashlights, batteries, medications, a hand crank or battery-operated radio, and important documents. Remember, in the aftermath of a major earthquake, you might be on your own for days, so prepare accordingly. It's worth noting that these are just some of the basic steps you can take to be ready for an earthquake. Other measures, such as learning first aid and how to turn off utilities, can further enhance your preparedness. Preparation could make the difference between survival and tragedy in the event of a major earthquake. So while a 10-magnitude earthquake might seem like a far-fetched scenario, it's always better to be safe than sorry. The thought of a 10-magnitude earthquake may be terrifying, but it's a reminder of the immense power of our planet. Looking back at our discussion, we've covered quite a lot. Let's recap. We delved into the core of the Earth, where earthquakes are born. We learned how tectonic plates, in their perpetual movement, create these seismic events. When these plates, massive as they are, rub against each other or collide, the energy released is what we experience as an earthquake. We then ventured into the hypothetical yet scientifically possible scenario of a 10-magnitude earthquake. The scale of such a calamity is almost unimaginable, with effects that would be catastrophic and far-reaching. Entire cities could be leveled, tsunamis could sweep across oceans, and landscapes could be forever altered. The loss of life could be staggering, and the world as we know it would be irrevocably changed. But it's not all doom and gloom. While we can't control the forces beneath our feet, we can control how prepared we are. Preparedness is crucial. We examined the importance of having a plan, of knowing what to do when an earthquake strikes, and of understanding the science behind these natural events to better predict and prepare for them. The thought of such a disaster is indeed terrifying, but terror should not lead us to inaction. Instead, it should spur us on to be proactive, to learn, and to prepare. It's a call to respect the power of our planet, to understand it better, and to ensure we're ready to face whatever it might throw our way. So the next time you feel the ground beneath you shake, remember the incredible forces at work beneath our feet and the importance of being prepared for the power of Mother Nature.